I am Princess Elena.
Introducing a hero.
The Majesty of Avalor has arrived!
Who will find her place.
I will meet with all the leaders and restore our kingdom to greatness.
A rebel who will face her destiny.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo está mi gente? I am Zay Zay and welcome to another banging interview. Today I have the privilege of sitting here with the captain and the first mate, if you will, of this massive, wonderful ship that is about to set sail, and everyone is going to absolutely love the ride. We are sitting here with the creator and the writer of Elena of Avalor, Disney Channel's new Latina Princess story that's about to hit televisions and screens all over the place. This is Silvia Cardenas Olivas, right?
Yes.
And Emmy Award winner Craig Gerber. How you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing great.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. I think the first thing that I really want to say about this is finally a Latina princess, right? And I'm sure you guys are getting that everywhere you go. Why do you think it's so important to me?
It's important to me too.
Why is this so important to me?
It's important because it's important to see ourselves represented.
Yeah.
You know, it's important. It's saying we see you.
Yes.
You matter.
Yeah.
That's why it's important.
Yeah. Why is now a good time?
Any time is a good time, to be honest with you. You know, and now is a great time because we get to be the ones that do it. You know?
Exactly.
I think, you know, I spent a number of years at Disney doing animation and earning their trust.
Yeah.
And now they've allowed us to take this idea of a Latina Disney princess and create a whole series around it. And you know, diversity has never been more important. Yeah. I think right now at this moment in time, there's, you know, the idea that people who are not like you can be role models, can be these excellent people to look up to with these terrific, admirable qualities, is something that is vital for people to see. I really do hope that in addition to, you know, having a Latina princess and having Latino children feel represented by a great character, that Princess Elena, being a character from a Latino heritage, shows all audiences that a hero can come from anywhere and be a little different than you, but still be a great leader, character, person, and role model.
Absolutely, absolutely. Was it difficult combining? Because what a lot of people don't understand, especially here in the United States, is that Latinos are so varied, right? There's not only a lot of us in number, but a lot of us in culture. You know, just because someone's from Ecuador doesn't necessarily mean that they jive with someone who's Dominican, let's say, right? So I know that in this series, you guys aim to kind of expose kids to different aspects of Latino culture. What were the challenges doing that?
I think it was a lot of fun. Actually, I think it opened up the storytelling because now we could draw from different Latino and Hispanic traditions and myths and legends.
Yeah.
The first episode, you're going to see Zuzo, who's comes from the Mayan idea of a chanu, where everybody has a spirit animal guide.
Right.
You also see a tamborita that Mateo has. You don't see the regular European wand. It's a tamborita, it's a drum wand, and that came from medicine women in Chile. The jaguars, they're half they're jacquins, they're half jaguar and half macaw, both indigenous from South America. So it's just amazing to be able to pull from all over, and also to expose and introduce people to Latino myths. I thought I knew all of them. I'm learning so many more doing the research.
Right. Got so many neighbors, all from different places, and you figure, okay, well, this has to be all of it, right? And then there's so much more.
So much more.
There's so much more. When creating the characters, were you able to look at like relatives and stuff like that and try to pick and find the aspects of everyone to kind of put your characters together and make them as best as?
Definitely, and I always talk about the grandparents. They really are based on my own grandparents. And I was talking to Craig about how Latinos, we view grandparents as people who have a lot of wisdom. And we realize they've had this entire life before we were born. They've had their victories, they had their failures, and when they speak, we listen. don't always follow, but we listen. And you see that in the first episode. Her grandfather Francisco says, "Mija, you're not ready to rule." But she says, "I think I am." And he lets her go on this journey and try to figure out if she is. And at the end of it, she comes back, and I think it's a beautiful scene where she's looking at him and he's looking at her, and she's like, "You're right." She's not saying it, you see it in their eyes, but he sees the potential that one day she will be a great queen. And so the grandparents are really are based on my own grandparents and my relationship.
You must have had some great grandparents.
I did. My grandfather, he played the guitar and serenaded my grandma, and my grandma always had something to say. I realized she had this big life, and I listened to her, so they really do inspire me.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. What do you hope people take away with them after? Well, children obviously, but there's going to be a million parents watching this as well. What do you think? What do you want them to take away after watching even a single episode of Elena?
Right. Well, first of all, I want them to be entertained.
Yeah.
And then I hope Elena inspires kids to be leaders. I hope they, even though they don't rule a kingdom like Elena does, they can be leaders in their homes, at their schools, in their communities. And I think if that happens, I'll be so happy. I think we've gone beyond. If that happens, their kids are entertained and they're inspired.
We were talking about it a little bit earlier, right? How Elena is not your oh, my knight in shining armor, waiter. She's more of a take charge, more of a strong like a girl kind of character. Why was that so important to break that kind of mold and make her awesome?
Yeah. I mean, to me, you have the opportunity with princesses because girls in particular love princesses. So you already have like a built-in audience, right? And to me, though, I feel like princesses are like superheroes with tiaras, and so it's really important, like if you're gonna have a role model, to give them qualities that you want children to, not just look up to, but emulate. And so it's just really important to present empowered women, women in a leadership position. And this isn't just for young girls watching, but it's for young boys watching to understand that, like, it doesn't matter necessarily what your gender is. You can be capable of anything. And so that's the message we want to put across, and that's why an empowered female character is so important to me.
Awesome. Now, okay, you did Sofia.
Yeah.
Right? You've done Elena. Your inspiration came from your sons? Do I have that right?
So you could tell I really wanted daughters. And now I have them. I couldn't have daughters, so now I have two fictional daughters who take up more time than my sons do. And it's great. I have a party of 5 now.
Right.
It's very funny. People always ask me, like, if you had boys, why, and I guess that just goes to show you that, what inspires me from my children are like the themes that we put into the show and things like that, and I just grew up with Disney movies and animation, and I love it, and I just love creating worlds. And in terms of like animated worlds, like Disney animated fairy tale worlds are so compelling.
Yeah.
And so like that hooked me into the sort of the whole genre to begin with. And so, the princesses are the stars of these worlds. And so I think that's what kind of got me into it. But now, in terms of Elena, it really has more to do with just the groundbreaking nature of the character, of really telling a story that hasn't been told before. That's important to me. I mean, the thing about Sofia is that it was very gratifying to put out a show that had these life lessons that kids and their parents could watch together and take something positive away from, to either discuss or bring into their lives. Right. And with this show, it's a whole other situation where it's a character from a Latino heritage who a lot of people are looking towards for representation on one hand. Latino kids will have someone to, they see themselves in Elena, but also for other audiences to really hopefully embrace someone from a different heritage, but really just think, wow, what a great new character that I want to follow and watch every week.
Yeah.
So, that really excites me.
Yeah. Last question. I'd like to ask people who do animation, especially Disney guys, how is it that you make them so good, like out of the gate every single time? Like, I've never seen a bad Disney anything, especially when it comes to animation. How do you guys do that every time? It's just awesome.
That is a good question.
That's a great question.
Like, hey, thank you.
I know.
I'll tell you, this is one of the interesting things about it is that you get people on your crew who you get fresh perspectives, one, that help bring new ideas to the table. But we also have some people on our crew who are Disney veterans. Our supervising director, Elliot M. Bohr, animated on some of the classic Disney feature movies, Lion King, among others.
Yeah.
And what it is there's a legacy of storytelling at Disney, and all the people that work at Disney learn that legacy and build on it. And so I think if I had to guess, which, for what it's worth, my opinion, is that you study all this terrific storytelling and animation from like Disney and now Pixar, and then you try to incorporate that into the stories you're telling and improve on it and give your take. And I think it's really just the bar is set so high internally that you just force yourself to try to clear it.
Right. So it's story, add a little magic, a little awesome,
Stay up all night.
sorcery, and then poof, princess movie.
You just think to yourself, what would Walt do?
What would Walt do? Beautiful. I'm gonna get a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. Guys, Elena of Avalor, you gotta watch it. Trust me, it is amazing. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming.